Good evening and a very warm welcome to your news package for this evening. Making headlines, the Fijian community in Tonga marked 43 years of independence from the UK. Ministry of Health urges the locals not to take Tongan traditional medicine, for it adds up problems with the breast cancer. And Tonga joined the rest of the world in commemorating the International Day for Disaster and People Living with Disabilities. These are more stories later on in this bulletin, together with the latest in sports and the weather. I'm Fatai Whainga'a with your news for tonight. The Fijian community in Tonga has marked 43 years of independence from the British government since 1970. A special program was held at the St Andrews College Hall on Saturday to mark the day and was attended by the acting Prime Minister Sami Vaipulu, Ratu Te Vitalui Lakemba Mara and the Fijian community. Linda Filier was there and filed these reports.
The Fijian community performing their ritual presentation to mark the welcoming of the guests of honor. In a remarks from the acting Prime Minister, Sami Vaipulu, he says Tonga and Fiji are related in many ways.
Today it's really a Fijian day because all of us are Fijians here celebrating our day in Tonga. In the past week, coming back from Montreal, I had to stay on in Los Angeles for a funeral, which was my auntie's funeral. And they wanted me to read out the history of my auntie. In the history, it noted our part with the Blake family, but it didn't note the Fijian side. However, I said, my auntie's mum, so it's her grandmother, was born by a real Fijian named Galilea in Vava'o. And on my father's side, from the Nuku side, from the Tuina Wakano clan, I'm also Fijian from that side. And you can tell from my looks, I'm real Fijian. It is always something that we all want to celebrate, is freedom. Each and every one of us loves and cherishes freedom.
A Fijian residing in Tonga, Sevanaya Dawake, says he's happy to take part in this annual program.
For us here, it's an annual program because most of the time we are busy busy doing things. Most of us are on the different places. It's a good time for us to come together, gather, share, and after this, it might take another 3-4 months before we'll see each other again.
During the program, Fijian traditional songs and dances were performed to the guests. The program was wrapped up with a prayer services held at Gunsalote College Hall, attended by the Fijian community. More than 300 Fijian are currently staying and working in Tonga. For Television Tonga News, I'm Linda Filiai.
The CEO for the Ministry of Commerce, Tourism and Labour, Tataf Moeaki, takes up the CEO for the Ministry of Finance and National Planning for 4 years, effective from September 23, 2013. The Public Service Commission PSC made the appointment.
Tataf Moeaki will replace Mr. Teofilu Sitiweti, who is now working as advisor to the World Bank in Washington. The Public Service Commission is now in the process of recruiting a new Chief Executive Officer for the Ministry of Commerce, Tourism and Labour. Meanwhile, the Minister for Commerce, Tourism and Labour, Honourable Dr. Viliami Latu, says Tataf Moeaki has led the ministry through a growth period, increasing the ministry's direct budget resources more than threefold over the years, forged strong partnerships between government and private sectors to double registered businesses by year-end 2012. Moeaki has postgraduate qualifications in econometrics and quantitative studies. He started in the civil service at the Central Planning Department in 1995, now under the Ministry of Finance and National Planning. He was the first head of the Policy and Planning Division for the Ministry of Education to manage the inaugural implementation of the first education sector-wide approach known as the Tonga Education Support Program. Moeaki continued to be a Deputy Secretary for Foreign Affairs and took charge of the desk for the Pacific EU-Asia and also acted as Deputy National Authorizing Officer for the EU 9th EDF closure and programming of the 11th EDF before his appointment to the CEO for the Ministry of Commerce, Tourism and Labour.
The Tonga Energy Roadmaps Working Committees, also known as TERM, are tidying up the audit works that have been done to all its financial activities before its submission to Cabinet and then to Parliament. Linda Filiai reports.
The Minister of Land Survey, Climate Change and Natural Resources, Lord Ma'afu, made the statement when responding to a query from Tongatapu People's Representative No. 5, Isaac Eke, concerning the framework that TERMS uses with its working committees. Lord Ma'afu also told members of the House that the energy division that used to operate under his ministry has been moved to operate under TERM at the Prime Minister's office. Meanwhile, People Representatives No. 5 also questioned some of the TERM's operation and other details pertaining to its audit and financial activities because it is not mentioned in its 2011 yearly report of the Prime Minister's office. In a response from the Minister of Land, Survey, Climate Change and Natural Resources, Lord Ma'afu, he stated that he is a member of one of the committees where the Honourable Prime Minister is chairing, plus other members including the Chief Executive Officer of the ministries. They have some kind of connection with energy. Lord Ma'afu also mentioned that the Energy Division has been transferred to operate under TERM and the money for its operation is under his ministry. So they work for the TERM, but the financial expenses are paid by his ministry. For Television Tonga News, I'm Linda Filiai.
The Ministry of Health urges locals never to take traditional medicine because it will never heal nor cure breast cancer, but will only contribute to the problem. This was revealed during a breast cancer Bink luncheon fundraise at the Cynic Hotel in Whamotu last Saturday. Whanua Veikoso with the detail.
Her Royal Highness, Princess Salote Mafleopilolevu-Tuita, the patron of the Tonga Breast Cancer Society, present at the Pink luncheon. Also present in the occasion was the President of the Tonga Breast Cancer Society, Honourable Frederica Fatafehiola Paha-Tuita Filipe, and Lady Alaileula Tuguaho. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, Dr. Amelia Tuipolotu says some local women first seek traditional medicine before seeking advice or treatment from the hospital. We humbly ask those who are doing Tongan traditional medicine to please stop treating people that suffers from such problem because it only worsens the problem. If we work together, we will save lives. She adds that men should support also the Breast Cancer Society as they are also affected from the same cancer. It is vital for men to support. Past few years we treated men with breast cancer. The longer they leave it, the worse the pain gets. Meanwhile, a member of the Tonga Breast Cancer Society, Lita Kami, says people need to know how important it is to be treated in an early basis. We need people's support. In that way, we can convince more people to ensure early detection. The program aims at raising funds to assist the society's operation. Entertainment and giveaways was also held, attended by government and non-government organizations and others. Whanonga Veikoso for Television Tonga News.
Tonga is one of the many countries all over the world that joined the attempt to alleviate hunger and ensure food security. A director from the Ministry of Agriculture, Food, Forestry and Fisheries, Dr. William Manu, told Television Tonga News they are moving towards ensuring a secure and sufficient food supply in Tonga. This was recognized internationally after many people were starved at the aftermath of the Second World War. This prompted the idea of setting up the World Food Day that marked on October 16th every year. Sinlato with the detail.
The World Food Day was initiated with the aim of recognizing the importance of food to the people's health. This year's theme highlighted healthy people from healthy food systems. To date, the Food Agriculture Organization, FAO, are on the process of trying to achieve this theme.
And in 1995, there was a 20-year target of reducing the hunger population of the world from 840 million people to half. So that's in 2015, the population of the world of hungry people will be reduced.
Dr. Manu says one of the alternative Tonga put in place to reduce hunger is increasing the local produce and minimize relying on imported food. Countries that has not faced starvation or hunger are trying to reduce any risk of such problem, while other countries currently suffers this problem are trying to reduce what has happened. Meanwhile, a businesswoman from Vava'o, Dai Gutenbell, will be awarded a prize in Bangkok in a program to mark World Food Day. I encourage business owners to work together with their families to develop the country and to ensure sufficient food supplies. The award she's receiving is to honor hard-working business owners and to promote this year's theme for the World Food Day. For Television Tonga News, I'm Sinilatu.
Despite the communication breakdown between a 24-year-old accused, Heleni V, with her family, the magistrate court issued an arrest warrant. Ms. V of Fasimoyafi was alleged of theft, falsification of document, and embezzlement. It occurred while she was employed as a staff of the Westpac Bank of Tonga. The accused was called in Magistrate Court Fasimoyafi this morning. Kalisi Tuyanuk was there and filed this report.
A summons made by the police officer responsible for the investigation towards the accused states that Helen V left to New Zealand before receiving the indictment. The total amount alleges to the tune of 10,000 pa'anga. It is also alleged the accused transferred money from a client of Westpac Bank of Tonga to her own account and withdraw it for personal reason. She was also alleged for authorizing herself to withdraw money from a Tongan client residing overseas. According to the summons made by the police officer, Helene's younger sister told him they no longer made contact with the accused since she left. She says that Helene told them that she will be leaving Tonga for good. It is understood that the accused Helen V left to New Zealand on July 23rd and the complaint was made on the 29th of the same month. Prosecutor Sifalatu recommended an arrest warrant, which was also approved by Magistrate Simloni Tuakalau for the accused while investigation continues. It is also understood that the accused is currently overstaying in New Zealand. For Television Tonga News, I'm Kalisi Tuyanoko.
The Roman Catholic Church Sunday School members celebrates the Education Christian Learning Day, known as ECL, during the weekend. The program started with a mass led by the bishops on Ipatita Painimafi at the Ma'afanga Saint Immaculate of Mary's Cathedral. Whanonga with the detail.
Marking the ECL Day in Nuku'alofa, a float parade was carried out from the Saint Immaculate of Mary's Cathedral to the Ste Kofele Kakalas Hall in Abifa'o College together with other programs. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, the Deputy Director of the Catholics ECL, Father Newcastle Newkapu, says this year's focused on the theme to deepen the members' faith. The program was based on the theme provided for the Year of Faith, together with the bishop's given motto, which is to deepen the faith. A Sunday school teacher also stressed his opinion on the event. I am very happy to see that parents take the lead in supporting the program. One mother, Malia Hausia, told Radio and Television Tonga that this annual program is popular to many children. The most important event in this program is preparing the children of the church to know the right path in life. Entertainment was also held to mark the day. Children were also glad to express their view on this annual event.
And today I'm feeling very excited because everyone here is smiling and gosh, we're dressed up and I'm just saying I'm feeling good.
And I'm so happy today because we're having the program, the ECL program, and I'm so glad to be here.
8 parishes in Tongatapu took part on this program. For Norvekoso for Television Tonga News.
Tonga joined the rest of the world in commemorating the International Day for Disaster and People Living with Disabilities yesterday. A special program was held to mark the day at the Centenary Church in Sayone. This also marks a week-long training to educate disabled people on what to do if a natural disaster occurs and to also contribute in a national attempt to combat climate change. Part of the program was a tsunami drill exercise at the Alonga Centre on Saturday, where the disabled people and others evacuate the centre to the Villa Royal resident. Speaking to Radio and Television Tonga News, Captain Tony Whanokalafi from the Tonga Defence Service says last weekend's program was a success. The drill was successful because the majority of those that took part were ready and knows the right thing to do at the right time. We reached our destination in less than 15 minutes. It was a very quick one, but on a real situation, it could be slower. Meantime, Sina Monica Waka from the Fire Department says despite there was many difficulties faced during the program, but they were more than glad to help those that are in need. It was not easy helping disabled people because some of them have hearing and sight problem that makes communications harder for us. Ponepatitau Sila from the Ministry of Education told Radio and Television Tonga News that similar programs should also be given to the younger children and the elderlies. Special attention is needed for disabilities and also for those who are helpless. One participant says how happy she was to be part of the drill. When we got the green t-shirts given to us, I was so happy knowing that green is the colour of life. Leading the drill were officers from the Tonga Defence Service, Fire Services, Tonga Police, Tonga Trust, Ministry of Education, Agriculture and stakeholders. That's the local news. Sports is up next with Pierre Ollier.
In sport, the fans of the Matema Tonga team have shown their great support for the team through participation of the national team's float parade from Tauriki to Te Whaiau Park on Saturday. It was an exciting event for the supporters, with supports were shown from the Prime Minister's office led by the First Lady, Lady Tuiwhekanoa, who is also the President of the Dasanok. It was a joyous event in the heart of Nuku'alofa with family and friends from the western and eastern side of Tongatapu coming together to show their support. Tonga Broadcasting Commission shows its support by taking part in a joint venture with a local composer and singer, Tupo Loto'aniu. The Queensland and New South Wales team also took part to support the Matema Tonga squad. Meanwhile, the team will depart the kingdom early tomorrow morning. Tonga's pool includes Scotland, Italy and Cook Islands in the World Cup 2013.